The 14th of July is France's National Day, and a brilliant gift to the watching public. The most climbing of any stage in this Tour de France. The second of a Pyrenean doubleheader. A huge stage on the way to the Plateau de Bay. Starting out in Loudunvielle, 198 kilometres, with Pogacar having won the day before and wrestled back the momentum as it seemed to slip away a little early in the week to Jonas Vingegaard. But again, this traditionally was more Vingegaard territory. 4,900 metres of climbing, lots of classified climbs, a couple of nasty unclassified ones too. A finish, an all category climb, 15 kilometres at 8% to Plateau de Bay. The first time the Tour had ever visited this particular climb to a finish was the last time that somebody was on their way to doing a Giro Tour double. Would Pogacar be on the way again? His main rival Vingegaard was in the polka dot jersey looking after it for the Slovenian star. Fast and furious from the off, that's what we expected. Full on, full gas. Straight away, riders were going out the back trapdoor. Sprinters, including Mark Cavendish, knowing they would have a tough job to make the time limit. Romain Bardet was attacking. He wanted to be right up there, as did David Gaudu. He'd take the early mountains points, but with the descent coming up to Bagnères de Luchon, things could change again. And they did. A good breakaway went away. Biniam Girmay was in it, and he was after more points in the King of the Mountains competition. He sprinted away ahead of Michael Matthews, but despite winning the sprint on the road at Marignac, he would then be relegated to the last third place in that particular group for an irregular move. In the breakaway ahead, it was breaking up once more. Richard Carapaz made his way across, and it was Visma Lease Bike this time who were taking control to ride. A quarter of the stage done, the gap at 1:30, and that continued a little later on with Jungels, Sobrero and Hindley up the road for a Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe team looking to try and take a stage victory. Behind Visma continued a chase, and with 73 kilometres to go, a split in the breakaway. Forced by Jungels and Sobrero. Not everybody have made it though. Carapaz, one of the big victims, he couldn't get there. Hindley pressed on. On the penultimate climb of the day, Healy had to do a job to get Carapaz to the front, and the yellow jersey group, well, they were still led by Visma at 3 minutes 40. Healy, after doing his job, left behind by Carapaz. The Olympic champion wanted to be a stage-winning champion at the Tour. He'd reach Mas, De Plus and Hindley. But in the search for a stage win, they'd have another man in the mix. Getting on the final descent before the last climb, Johannesson was there too. 5 stars at the front, 2.5 minutes of a gap, and they were on their way to the Plateau de Bay. By this point, there was a real danger that the sprinters were going to be out of time. 35 minutes back as they started the climb at the front, and Carapaz was the first to attack. The gap, though, was down to less than 1.5 minutes, and the group was whittling down too. Enric Mas gave it a go. And Jorgensen, by this point, was riding strongly. It was becoming clear that the stage was going to the GC group, but what was left of that as Vingegaard attacked, Evenepoel was dropped. Pogacar, though, sticking to the wheel of the two-time defending champion. Evenepoel had said he was searching for the podium. He was losing ground on the man in second place. But could the man in second place overturn things? Trailing Tadej Pogacar at this point by 1:57. They were neck and neck on the road. But then with just over 5 kilometres to go, Vingegaard had been riding, Pogacar had been waiting. Pogacar would then pounce. Once again he'd ride away, building an advantage and increasing his lead. Jonas Vingegaard came into this off the back of no competition since March. A nasty crash. He shouldn't have even been at the Tour de France. The fact he's been competitive has been incredible. Tadej Pogacar looking for that Giro Tour double. He crossed the line with another magnificent win. The first man ever to do back-to-back summit finish wins on 2 occasions in his career, and he put more than a minute into Jonas Vingegaard. Finishing almost 3 minutes down, Remco Evenepoel in the fight for the podium, looking good on the podium, looking a long way from the yellow jersey. And more than 3 minutes now, the gap from yellow to second place. Tadej Pogacar with 6 stages left in more than pole position. It was perfect Pog in the Pyrenees. A 3rd stage win of this tour, and perhaps one that goes a good long way to sealing the deal. They're the results after a very, very tough encounter in the mountains. Evenepoel in, knowing that he's done a great job to save 3rd place for now, and this is how the GC looks. He has over 5 minutes in 3rd. 3:09 back now is Vingegaard, and Pogacar in control. The double's on. A double in the Pyrenees, maybe another building block to the double. Worry for the time cut, avoided by Cavendish. He makes it into his final week of his final tour. Bram Velten didn't quite make the cut. The next stage, 188.6 kilometers, is one where crosswinds could come into it. Grisons to Nîmes, maybe a final opportunity for a sprint finish. That's what it looks like. The tour resumes on Tuesday after its final rest day. Things have turned around before here, but it's looking pretty good for Pogacar at the moment. You'll be able to catch the final 6 days of the tour on Eurosport and Discovery+.